The torso foundation can have a side dart or a shoulder dart. You can have both of them, or you can just keep one of them, so that whenever you need to design something, all you have to do is transfer the dart from the side to the shoulder. Hi guys, welcome back to my YouTube channel. Today I'm going to be showing you how to get a torso foundation from your bodice and skirt block. A torso foundation is basically a combination of the skirt and bodice block without a waistline. The torso foundation ends at the hip line, that way you have the freedom to add or subtract from the length of whatever design you're going to make. The torso foundation can have a side dart or a shoulder dart. You can have both of them, or you can just keep one of them, so that whenever you need to design something, all you have to do is transfer the dart from the side to the shoulder, and then you can close this dart. There's two types of torso foundation: the one that comes with an open shoulder dart and the one that comes with an open side dart. I have the one that comes with an open side dart, although it was first an open shoulder dart and then I transformed it into an open side dart. Now if I want to do a design that needs an open shoulder dart, all I have to do is slash this to the bust point and then get rid of this and close. That way I have an open shoulder. But if you only have an open shoulder, all you have to do is slash this line to the bust point and then close your shoulder so that this can open. This is basically going to be the last foundation block you need to make anything. You have the torso foundation, the bodice block foundation, the skirt foundation, sleeve, and then pants. You need 5 of those. Once you have all those in your arsenal, the sky is your limit. So this pattern is actually very versatile. You can do a lot of things with it. You can make a dress with it. You can make a coat with it. You can make a shirt with it. You can make a skin-tight dress. You can make an A-line dress. You can also make active wears with it, sport wears or swimsuit wears. In this tutorial, I'm also going to show you guys how to draft your guidelines as well. You need the guidelines for when you want to make strapless dresses or featured dresses, corsets, anything that has like a cutout neckline, cutout armhole line. Whatever type of skin tight outfit you want to make, you're going to need to have guidelines around your bust radius. So the first thing I have done here is I have duplicated my bodice patterns, the front and the back. So this is what I will be working with, and I will keep these two in a safe place so that I don't destroy it. On the front bodice, I'll measure my shoulder line and divide that into 2.5. On the side seam at the waistline, mark X and then draw that line, that point from here to the bust point. And then for the back, I will measure the side seam, from the side seam towards the center back, 2 inches. Then I will mark that and draw a slash line. Measure around the armhole with a flexible ruler and figure out what the center point is. So my armhole is 9.5. 9.5 divided by 2 will be that. That is going to be the mid armhole. So you're going to draw that new mark to the mid armhole, and then you're going to label the side X. Next I'm going to do is square out a line right here. This is going to be the center front. This is going to be my hip arc. This is where the hip ends, and we're calling this A. So A to B is going to be the front hip arc plus 1/2 inch. And we're calling this B. So A to D is going to be your waist to hip length, which is 8 inches. I'm gonna do that here as well. 8 inches. So this is A, B, D, and C. On the C, come in by 3/4 of an inch and mark. The next thing I'm going to do here is open this up, get rid of this, and then slash this open to the bust point. I touch the D line, and I take that, and now that we have that, the next thing you want to do is make sure that your X, this side seam, touches that line right here, and then take that for the new dart point, I will go 1 inch up from the bust point. And draw my new dart legs to my shoulder darts. And I'm just going to draw my new hip curve to my hip line. On the waistline, I'm going to measure 3 inches below. And I'm just going to draw a short line. Then from this point, I'm just going to draw a straight line down to that new line that I drew. Also square a guideline 1 inch below the bust point. This is the bust point, BP. So from this bust point, I'm going to go down 1 inch and square a guideline right here. So from this point, I'll measure 1 3/4 inch towards the side seam, and I'll mark, and I'll take that down to this stomach line as well, 1 3/4 inch. So on the waistline, I'll go in by 1/4 inch on this first dart line and on this second dart line on both sides. So this is what that front is going to look like. This is for the front. For the back, I will do the same thing. And this is going to be the center back. So A, this is going to be my center back, and I'll call this A. A to B is going to be my back hip arc plus 1/2 inch. It's right here. And then I'll measure from here to here 8 inches again, which is the waist to the hip line. C. On the C line, going by 3/4 inch like we did in the front. Make sure the X touches that C mark right here. So from the armhole, I'll go down by 1 inch and draw a line from here to the center back. On the waistline, I'll go down about 5 inches, 5.5 inches, and I'll square a guideline right here. The center back waist, I will go in by about 3/4 inch. And I'll draw a line. This is going to be my first dart. And from this point, I'll measure 2 1/4 inch towards the side seam. On the waistline, measure 1/2 inch on each side of the dart and join it to the top and bottom. Draw my curved line. So this is what a torso pattern looks like. And don't forget to draw this line as well. This is the cross back. Just in case you want to make a shirt and you need a yoke, this is going to be the yoke of the shirt. And then you can do whatever you want at the back right here. On the side seam of the front torso, go down by 1.5 inches and connect that to the bust point. This is going to be the slash line. This right here is going to be the slash line, and when we slash it open, we're going to close the shoulder line. Before we do that, we're going to go in by 1/2 inch right here and connect that to the waistline. 1/2 inch. Connect that to the waistline. Then draw a line from the dart point to the bust point. That's going to be a slash line. And we're gonna slash what's left of this dart points to the bust point, and then slash from this side all the way to the bust point, but make sure you're not cutting it. Then close the shoulder dart. What I'm going to do is transfer this onto my post board, and then I'm going to make the changes on the post board because I'm still going to have to mark some guidelines for if I want to make a corset or strapless dresses. The changes for the back torso, I'm going to draw the dart legs up to this point, and then draw new dart legs from this point to the waist, going by 1/4 of an inch on the armhole, and then draw that to the waistline. Go down on this point, go down by 1/4 of an inch. Do the same thing on this side as well, 1/4 of an inch. When you're done marking it, draw it from this point to the neckline and from this point to the shoulder tip. So those are the only changes that you're going to make on the back. So for the front, this is the bust point. I'm going to draw a radius of 3 inches from this point. So I'll find the mid shoulder right here. Mid shoulder. This is 5.5 inches. 5.5 inches divided by 2. Find the mid shoulder and then go down by 1/8 of an inch. And connect that to the armhole tip and the neckline tip. And then draw that center point to the bust point. And then on this line, measure 3/8 of an inch down and up. So 3/8 of an inch is about 3 toothpicks. 1, 2, 3 sticks. So that's what we're going to measure up and down right here. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. You're going to connect that to the bust point. 2 3/4. So 2 3/4 is going to be my mid neck, which is right here. So I'll connect that to the bust point. On the mid neck, measure 1/4 of an inch towards the center front. Mark that, and then draw your line from that point to the neck and to the bust point. An adjustment. I'm just going to write 1/4 of an inch right there. 3/8 of an inch. This is just so I know. For the mid shoulder line, we're going to make sure that whatever we get in front towards the center front and at the back towards the side seam all adds up to 7/8 of an inch. So 7/8 of an inch is 7 toothpicks. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. This is the 7 that we need to distribute between the front and back of this mid shoulder line. 1 toothpick, 2 toothpicks, 3 toothpicks and a half. 1 toothpick, 1 toothpick, 2 toothpicks, 3 toothpicks and a half. That's what we get here. And I'm going to connect that to my bust point. I'm not taking it up to the shoulder. It's just going to be connected to the bust point. So for the shoulder tip, I'm going to draw a line from this point to the bust point. And I'll measure 3/8 of an inch towards the center front. So 3/8 of an inch is 3 toothpicks. That's 1, 2, 3/8 of an inch. Right here. And I'm just going to draw a line to the bust point and to the shoulder tip. Next thing is to measure the armhole and find the center point. So I'll draw this to my bust point. I'm just going to measure 3/8 of an inch towards this armhole, like down here. And 3/8 of an inch is 3 toothpicks, like I said before. So just 1, 2, 3. So the next line is going to be from bust point to waistline. So right on the circle that I drew, I'm going to go up by 3/8 of an inch on both sides. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. And then I'm going to draw from my bust point to that point and down to the waist. Bust point touching this point and down to the waist. I had to go in with a pen so that it's visible for the camera. So from my bust point to my side seam, I'm going to measure 1 inch outwards and then draw my new dart legs. So for the side seam, I'm just going to trace it because I already transferred it onto this particular pattern. And then connect this to the waist. And this is what it looks like. So this is the final pattern for making literally anything in your wardrobe. You have the torso patterns, you have the skirt patterns, you have the bodice pattern, the sleeve pattern, and the pants pattern. That's all you need. And that is the end of today's tutorial. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe, and I'll see you guys in my next video. Bye guys.